a lot of the times can make you feel really lonely and can you can almost put yourself in a box of feeling lonely because you're not telling people how you're feeling. And I think I was just kind of having one of those days where I was feeling lonely, and then I remembered, I have over 200 people already who have been gracious enough to subscribe to this channel and, embark on this little new journey of ASMR and making videos with me. And I'm just really grateful for that. And I think sometimes, again, we can kind of just get tunnel vision, and it's easy to focus on all the negative things or all the stressful things, but we don't always sit back and focus on the good things that are happening. So, that's what I wanted to do, and that's why I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys, because I was feeling lonely and I was feeling alone. But I do have people that have already subscribed and who already do want to, like I said, do this journey with me, which I'm so grateful for. So I wanted to come on and talk to you guys. And, most importantly, just say thank you, because it means a lot, and it means a lot more than I think you guys realize. I think being a senior, at least for me, I always thought senior year, you'd have everything figured out. You'd know for sure where you're gonna live in the next year. You'd know for sure what job you're gonna have in the next year. All your friendships would be worked out, and everything would just be perfect. And that's, I guess, how I always thought it was gonna be. And now that I'm a senior and I'm living through it, and everything's not so black and white, it can be really hard sometimes. So I'm trying to not, get super in my own head and, sit in bed all day. I'm trying to, film videos and go for walks and get my schoolwork done and, do the things that I need to be doing. But sometimes it can be hard, especially, when you're in school and you're not, you're not a kid anymore. You can't just, go home, and it's a weird feeling. And I know that ASMR is something that a lot of people come to relax. That's what I use ASMR for, is to feel better. So I'm not trying to, trauma dump or make this a super sad video in any way, but I do want you to know that if you're feeling lonely right now, or you're a senior in college and you do not have it all figured out, I'm right there with you. And it's nice to have an outlet and a space where I can come and talk to you guys, and I'm sure someone out there is feeling the same way. So, like I said, I know ASMR is something that a lot of us go to relax and to feel better. So I'm sorry if I'm putting a damper on that in any way, shape, or form. hard thought for me. I think it's a hard thought for a lot of people, but I think it's important. And like I said, you know, I wasn't trying to come on here and put a damper on anyone's mood, because I know that this isn't a super, like, upbeat video per se, but I just wanted to talk to you guys. I'm someone who struggles with anxiety and depression, so when I start to overthink things or when I start to get anxious about things, I really, really feel them. And ASMR for me has always